Welcome back to the Big Facts Podcast. I am Ayo Conseco, fearless leader of Ayo Nation and the Men Too movement. And this is Ask Ayo, the show where you, the patron, get to tell me where the fuck my CarMax is. Son of a bitch. You, the patron, meaning you, the person who went to patreon.com, searched Ayo Conseco in the search bar on patreon.com, became a patron, and you asked a question. Today's question is heavy. How do I balance my career and my relationship? Ooh-wee. It's gonna be a doozy right here. It's gonna be a doozy. First things first, and obviously you know here I don't give a fuck about your opinion about me always bashing relationships and shit like that. Dog, when you seen the shit that I've seen, the way relationships go bad, then you would be hard down on this shit too. Pause. Straight up and down the situation. When we're talking about career, we're not talking about McDonald's. We're not talking about, I want to say UPS. We could even not be talking about truck driving, which is a career. FedEx could be a career. I think anything with insurance, or anything you could say, Walmart could be a career. That's the first thing that we have to do is identify what the fuck is a career and what is a motherfucker out this bitch just, trying to figure it out. You job hopping and shit like that. Let's go to the female side of it first. Female side, extremely hard. It's extremely hard because in real life, if it's set up correctly, when a man comes into the female's life, the female will be expected to throw her career away to play her part in a functional household. A functional household meaning man being the provider, woman being the nurturer, if we're serious and we're building a family. Man at the top providing, woman at the house nurturing, taking care of home. We're working as a team. Both of us working is only going to lead to, and you got people who say both of us working keeps us from killing each other and shit like that. Once again, this shit break down to what the fuck, and this is why talking at the beginning is so important. If you are old fashioned and you expect for a woman to quit her career, and when I'm saying this, I'm talking to motherfuckers. I'm not talking about no bitch working at Arby's, and then going and working at Burger King, working at fucking some old people hospital and shit like that. I'm talking about serious shit. You went to school for years and you love that career. This is why talking is so important from the fucking beginning. Fuck all that, and I guess that come with age and shit like that. Like, dog, what it come down to at the end of the day is wasting people's time. Wasting people's time. And true, sometimes shit just happen, but that's another thing that come with age. Shit don't just happen. As you get older, you start planning shit out. Nigga, when you young and retarded, it's day for day. It's just straight off the fields. But when you get old, it's like, nah, where the fuck is this going? And that's more along the lines of who I'm talking to. Before we start talking about on the female end, before we start talking about the female who has a career that she loves, went to college, maybe went back to college to get her whatever the next master or whatever like that in that career field and shit like that. This shit has to be spoke about. the number one killer of any relationship is fucking surprises. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, this ain't what I thought it was gonna be. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? This ain't what you thought it would be. And there's shit in relationships that it's impossible to see. You just not finding them attractive anymore. Them getting into a horrific accident. And honestly, you just wasn't prepared for that. You know what I'm saying? Y'all getting older and health issues start popping up to where it's hard. You not so much you lose respect for them, but you know, shit could be nasty to where like I'm not attracted to you like that no more. And it's that's really what that is, dog. Getting a relationship and then best of the best case scenario, 10 years later, this person is like a family member. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I don't, you know what I'm saying? Like, you just, like, I know I love you, but I don't know why I love you, because I don't love you as a sexual partner. Like, I don't look at you like that no more. I don't look at you like somebody who makes me want to fuck. And just honestly, my nigga, that's what it is. And that you know, before we get into the careers and all that bullshit, we talking about relationship, dog. Dog, people grow up, man. People grow up. They get older. The way that they felt at 22, 25 is not how they feel at 35. And shit gets fucked up and it gets confusing because of the situation. How do I tell this person that I have just been going through the motion for the last 3 years? I'm at the end of my rope at this point. This shit is starting to feel like prison. I know it's fucked up, but this is what it is. I just do not feel it no more. I don't feel it. That's really what it is. And you have these fucked up issues because even though I don't feel it, me seeing a video of you fucking somebody else, that shit would destroy me. Her hearing about you fucking with another bitch, it would embarrass her and it'll fuck her up. So now we're just here because we don't want the other person to be with nobody else. And that's where shit gets dangerous. It's like, I don't want you, but I don't want nobody else to have you. And that's when you start having these ideas about murder and shit like that. And you get too deep into the relationship to where you're not thinking straight. It's just like a drug addict. You know, you need that pill. You need that weed. You need that bag. You fucked up. You know that, and you know that would make you not be fucked up no more if you could get it. And so now the means of getting that dope is like, man, this shit, man, you talking about going into a bank. Man, all we gotta do is write them a note and we're gonna be right out this. All you gotta do is be outside and I'm gonna goddamn come out that bitch and we good. Nigga, and once we get this in, shit, we can go ahead and go to rehab. But shit, we gotta get something right now. And that decision, that temporary fix, costs you the next 30 years of your life. You're not being rational. And once you are in prison, you know, 5 years into your bid, you like, what in the fuck? Why in the fuck wouldn't I just go in front of a gas station and ask for money, or, you know, at least try to rob a drug dealer or some shit? Like, why in the fuck would I go into a bank in 2000 and, you know what I'm saying, and talking about sliding a note? You didn't get the money, you didn't get the dope because it was so hot out that bitch after you hit the motherfucker, or you did get the dope. And now you got a whole nother stress on top of you that you need more dope to get you back to fuck that shit. It's the same thing in these relationships. I can't stand this motherfucker. Like, man, this bitch. God damn. Or she like you in the bed and you just fought and this bitch just turn around and start stabbing the fuck out of you. You know, you would much rather like deal with the pain of, you know, having to see a video of her fucking another nigga or having to hear about him being with a badder bitch than you know, having to deal with that shit while you're doing a sentence for attempted murder. Relationships, it's like I said, I just don't see no easy way around it because we not dealing with robots. We dealing with real fucking people, and people change, and that's normal. The only thing that stays consistent is change. And relationships, fuck how you feel. Them bitches is expensive. Fuck what you talking about. Give a fuck what type of, if she, you know, giving you money the whole time, that shit is expensive because of the time that you have to be in proximity to her in order to get that money. That's 5 years that you could have been working on this. Same thing with her. That's 5 years that you could have been, if you would have had the looks that you had when you was 22 out here right now, you know what I'm saying? You could have had a whole bunch of opportunities. But because you stayed with him and under his thumb for all that time, now you don't look the same. You done had this baby or whatever the fuck. You not that same. That's why it's expensive. Fuck the money. We talking about time at this point. And that's correct. That is correct. You know, a lot of times a job will prolong a relationship that's supposed to been ended. This is what we saw with COVID. COVID forced people to be together and realize, like, damn, the only thing we could halfway agree on is that we wanted to fuck. That's it. And because after, you know, the sex is over, I gotta go ahead and get to work. You on the run, you going somewhere, it's just all good. But when you gotta fuck, bust, and then sit there next to the person and it ain't no conversation, that's when you start really realizing what's going on. So, you know, we talking about the female side of it. That's heavy because if we talking about what's real, then the female is not supposed to have no career. So, you know, that's a whole nother, you know, situation. That's the only way I can see it. I don't, cause going down that path about a female balancing her career and shit like that. If you have questions about the relationship, that means the relationship is serious. And I don't see how the relationship could be serious if we not talking about you not working no more. And that opens up a whole nother door. You know what I'm saying? Like we in a relationship just like we on a fucking record contract or a military contract. We gonna be in a relationship for 4 years, and if after them 4 years we wanna renew this shit, we'll do that. But other than that, no, after them 4 years, it's over with. But like I said, when we get in relationships, nobody's in these relationships to say that it's gonna be temporary. A relationship, we into it like, damn, this might really be the one. That's the reason why we're in the relationship. And if this is really the one, I don't see how she, how the career could be the issue. because I mean the whole thing would be it's gonna be serious. But you know that, like I said, that's big, and I guess that's why it's such a good question, because how would you balance that if 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 the girl gets in a relationship with the dude? That's why you talk. That's why you talk. Like, look, what do you see? How do you see it? And then you go off of that. Like, so if you see that, you know, you gonna work until it's serious enough, and that might take 5 years or so, however long it might take, for you to see that, nah, this nigga ain't serious. I'm not finna give up my career because this nigga's playing. He's not taking his career serious. And that's where we get to the big bombshell. You know what I'm saying? Like, how do you balance your career and at the same time? So the only way I can really answer it would be on the man's side. How would you take your career serious at the same time as taking a relationship serious? And that is one of those questions that really make you be like, yeah, this shit here seem like it's not supposed to work. You know, you got military contractors, you got police officers, you know, any career where, you know, your actions are gonna dictate how fast you rise up the ranks. Where if I wanna have a break, then I gotta work hard right now. But if I'm working so hard that I'm not actually there, how in the fuck are we gonna build a relationship? And this is the conundrum. There is no easy fix. There is no easy fix. Two ambitious people, they can say that they got a perfect relationship because they don't see each other that much. If both of y'all ambitious, you in Tokyo, he in California, you know what I'm saying, y'all always at work. Is that even really a relationship? And like I said, my nigga, you know, I go real deep into these questions because it's a lot. It is a lot to it. You know, what level are we talking about? That's the only level I can see it on, because if you out this bitch playing McDonald's and, you know, I'm gonna have to do a whole nother one for abstract jobs like artistic shit, you know what I'm saying, music and shit like that, dream chasing shit. But if we talking about regular everyday people, and this is why, dog. This is the reason why. Like, you know, to go straight into a job situation, that would be, you know, you got a leaky roof and you gonna fix the sheetrock. It's like, what the fuck? Like, you gotta take that sheetrock down, take the insulation down. You know what I'm saying? Make sure that the wood ain't, you know, got water damage, and then you gotta plug the hole on the roof side. You gotta go outside and actually plug that hole, and it might be a situation where you gotta strip the whole roof. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey man, what type of sheetrock I need for a leaky roof? Whoa. What? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's not gonna. And people who don't understand roofing and shit like that, it'll be like a nigga saying, hey man, what type of gas I need to use to goddamn fix my transmission? It seemed like you trying to, you know, fix the easy problem, but that you're not fixing the problem at all. So it's hard to go just with the job and shit like that, because honestly, that shit supposed to be spoke about. That's supposed to be spoken about, like, in the beginning. Hey, what we, but that's the whole thing. Leaving shit up to chance. I figured that you was ain't none of that. I figured nothing. Hey, look, this how I see shit. How you see it. Well, I feel like the man supposed to take care of the woman from the time that they start dating. Oh, okay, I feel that. Well, look, I appreciate you for coming. You know what I'm saying? That type of shit. But because a motherfucker want to be smart and try to, I don't want to seem like this or seem like that. I want to make sure I make a good impression instead of trying to make sure that this person understands what they getting themselves into. Um, and that's selfishness from the very beginning, and being desperate from the very beginning. Once again, you putting a full tank of premium gas in a car that got a fucked up transmission and expecting to ride down the road off into the sunset. Like, you a fuck what type of gas you use until that transmission is fixed, which means you're gonna have to pull the motor out. You gotta make sure this and that. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a lot of work that has to be done. You coming to the mechanic and saying, hey man, I need to put some more gas, and you put some more gas in this motherfucker, man, fix the damn air condition. Like, oh, not big home. Look, I feel you on that, but you got a fucked up transmission. This car ain't gonna move. Hey man, I need you to fix the air condition and put the fuel pump in there. That ain't gonna fix the car. Hey man. So yeah, you know, when we talk about balancing careers and shit like that, dog, that's some shit that's supposed to be handled in the beginning. In the beginning, it's supposed to be handled. And if you in a situation where y'all started fucking with each other before you even thought about that shit, then you gotta take what you got. You gotta take what you got. Like, you doing it backwards. You doing it backwards. Like, you thinking that the problem is the fucking career, and that's not the problem. That's not the problem. That's like a motherfucker thinking money is their problem and shit. No, money ain't your problem. Like, you got some real deep character flaws that need to be fixed. That money ain't, that's sheetrock on a leaky roof. No matter how much money you get, that shit gonna keep on seeping through, until you do what's hard, which is going up there, seeing what the damage is, and you might get up there and realize that you gotta do a whole new fucking roof. Cause you got this issue everywhere. It's not just in the room, it's all over the fucking roof. And that's what a motherfucker don't wanna do. They don't wanna have the hard conversations. Even if a motherfucker call in a contractor to try to, you know what I'm saying, man, I'm gonna see what's up with this roof. That would be somebody, you know, let's go to counseling and shit like that. You don't really mean it, because if that counselor say y'all need to go on an island for 2 months without no technology, well, we're gonna do that shit goddamn next year on the 1st. You don't want to pay that goddamn, you know what I'm saying? Y'all ain't got no insurance on the roof. You don't want to pay that shit. So yeah, as far as managing and balancing the career and shit like that, that's something that you got to handle in the beginning. And it goes more into, now you got to know what you're doing from the very beginning. Relationship is not no like you can say, well, we just fell in love, and you gonna fall right out of it. It's so many episodes, wives killing husbands, husbands killing wives, children killing parents. It's so many situations. Step parents getting murdered. It's so many situations to where they just fell in love accidentally. The moment we have to stop taking this relationship shit like it's play. Even if it don't end up being a situation where the daddy stabbed the goddamn baby mama of 6 children, just you being in a situation to where you gotta cheat or you gotta do drugs and all this shit like this is not supposed to be like that. And no matter how much it costs, you have to be willing. If there's a problem, you gotta be willing to fix it. If there's a problem that, nah, fuck that, that's too high, I'm just gonna goddamn put the sheetrock up. I'm just gonna ignore the transmission and damn just fill this bitch up with ethanol and gas cleaner. Then, you know, you shouldn't get that car. You're not ready for home ownership if that's your mindset. That's how you rocking. You're not ready for home ownership. You need to continue to rent. And that's the reason why some people rent. Because being a homeowner, that's all your responsibility. There is nobody to call like, hey man, y'all need to come fix this damn leak in the bathroom. It's all on you. From security all the way to, you know what I'm saying, a leak in the roof. It's all on you. And that's what you taking on when you taking on a relationship. And I really think that's the issue. The issue is a motherfucker not taking a relationship serious. Like, and you being desperate. Sweetheart, if you got 8 kids, you know what I'm saying, and you thinking that the kids is fucking up the relationship, that's not the case. It's you. And until you understand that you in this situation because of you, it's not no outside external situation, it's you. You made the choice to have 8 children with that many baby daddies. If you're not going to take responsibility, then you're going to continue to have those issues. As long as you continue to look at the problem the way that you want to look at it, and I'm going to find the easiest fix to this shit, you will continue to have this to where you can't have no pursuit of happiness. Like, your pursuit of happiness will always be temporary. Always. Because you're just trying to get a little dose of it, a little hit of it, little 5 minutes of it, instead of actually putting in time and investing so that you have a whole lifetime, years of happiness, which might mean that you have to put years of pain in so that you can have years of happiness. But, dog, like I said, I'm saying this, and like I said, all this shit I'm saying is you have to understand who I am. I'm a person who, in the streets, retarded, fuck about life, fuck about nothing, except for my, street reputation, which doesn't mean anything in the real world. And we can see that as you see these clown niggas all over that's winning. But coming from that, drug addict, don't forget that. Coming from that, them getting sober and being able to see what's going on, it's like, dog, I don't have the luxury of being able to. That's a shame. I can't see if that's a stop sign or that's a circle. I can't even see. I don't have the luxury of being able to have the, all that play shit, because I understand that I'm supposed to be somebody. And so that is a gift and a curse, because it can be a burden. What will impress and make and satisfy someone else only makes me understand that I have to do more. And so I'm extremely ambitious, and I believe that ambition, you can't just say that shit, you have to actually, like, you can see it. Like, so you're ambitious because I sacrificed this so that I can reach my goals. You can't just say that shit. You're not ambitious if you've been in the same spot. You know what I'm saying? Like, you shouldn't even have to say it. That is something that people will say about you. Even if they say you crazy, they can't say that, you know what I'm saying, you don't accomplish it. And that's the mindset I'm coming from. So if you are a down home, settled down person and you just want, regular, then you shouldn't even understand that every question you ask me, you gonna get this type of response. Not so much just what you supposed to be doing, but my nigga, I can't play that game. I'm not gonna play the whole, well, shit, since you didn't want the air conditioning and the gas, I'm gonna go and do that, then I'm gonna put you goddamn rotate the tires, and then you gonna be good. Like, dog, the transmission is fucked up, man. I ain't come for all that. That's the word. But I'm still and you can go to another mechanic who will tell you and do exactly what you told them to do. But you bring that shit here, I'm gonna tell you, be home, that shit ain't finna do nothing. It's not finna do nothing. Your transmission is fucked. You're not gonna be able to drive this bitch out of here. He wanted to get this bitch towed out of here. So you have to understand that if you talking about career, when you say career to me, you talking about some shit that you really care about, which would make it hard to balance because I don't know, my nigga. Like to me, that's all that matters. You know what I'm saying? Like everything else can wash away. At the end of the day, they ain't nobody got that shit on their gravesite that they were just the best fucking relationship person. You know what I'm saying? Like, and if they do give that out, I don't want that. We only here for a blink of an eye. Like, I need to make sure that my time here means something. So, if you on a different path to where you good and that's all you want, then you talking to the wrong person. You talking to the wrong person. I can't play like that. Balancing your career and your relationship, that's why you do not date while you're building your fucking, that's why you don't get in a serious relationship. What? Fuck with that. That's why you don't get in a serious relationship while you're building. And that's why you be straight up with somebody. Hey, look, I really don't want to even fuck around like that. I'm heavy into my shit, and my career comes first. If you scared to say that to somebody, then you're not being honest for one, and you cannot bring that car back to the mechanic after you told them to rotate the tires and you didn't fucking blow the head gasket. You didn't ran the car hot, or you know what I'm saying, whatever the fuck. Your fuel pump is out. Dog, you didn't, that's not what you told the motherfucker. And you didn't ask for no full diagnostic. You just say, hey man, rotate the tires. Hey man, you give me hey, you'll change the tire. You wanted them to change a flat, and you bring, man, my goddamn transmission fucked up. What the fuck? That ain't what you brought to the table. You wasn't fully honest with the situation. Like, yo, how serious you are with your career and accomplishing goals, that should be as fucking vital to the first date conversation as your fucking STD paperwork. If your career is not that serious to you, then you don't need to talk to me about balancing careers and shit like that. I don't know nothing about that. If you saying career to me and you talking about, you know, I work at whatever the fuck, I can't even, ain't no balance. How the fuck would you balance it? That's the answer. How the fuck would you balance it? How do you can't make up for time. Fuck, you know how many motherfuckers, you know, preachers that cared about their flock and cared about the, you know, the word and the people who need, they was helping, they was doing what they were supposed to do so much that they truly neglected their family. Same thing with military. You out here actually saving the world, that don't change shit that the bed is empty at night. That's not why the fuck she got in a relationship. And she can say, I knew who I married and all that shit like that. And that shit can mean more than one thing. You need to be, if that's how it is, then you need to be grown up about the situation and understand she loves you, but physically she needs somebody else there. Same, and I ain't got to talk about the artist world. Nothing, you cannot substitute time. You cannot do it. So there is no balancing. That's why I feel like the best thing to do would be, hey man, do what you're gonna do in your career, achieve your goals, then come back, and so you can really give it a real go and really focus in and key in on this person. Because if you gone so much and then when you come back you just trying to please them, you gonna miss a lot of shit because you feel like you the one that's in the wrong, and they can throw that in your face. If you talking about balancing, then you already in a, it's fucked up already. Best thing for you to do is cut ties and handle business. And like I said, that shit just is what it is. But there are children who their parents were, you know, scientists and war heroes, firefighters and shit like that. That phone and all that other shit, that shit don't make up for that time. You doing some real shit. You doing some heavy shit, but it does not make up for that time. You're not there. You see this with anybody who has a big goal and achieve big things. They have home issues because they really don't know these people. But they are the provider, so they can rule with an iron fist, but you ain't really there. So, you know, shit happens and shit like that. Like I said, I hate that I, you know, have so many reasons why, but dog, if you are in this age bracket to where you are still out this bitch and you are fucking success hungry, like, I'm expecting for you to be somewhat like me, ambitious. The only relationship that matters is the relationship with your children, not even with your parents or your brothers, your family. Only relationship that matters is that relationship with the children. Having somebody that can hit you up and be on some, why the fuck you ain't answer the phone and all that shit on both angles. Give a fuck what type of speech you give in the beginning. They not gonna understand it when you in a movie or whatever the fuck and you kissing somebody else. If they don't mind that, then you might need to check out their situation. So that's what I'm gonna tell you, my nigga. If you talking about balancing and shit like that, and there ain't no balance. Ain't no balance. You either there or you ain't. And if you not there, then you need to cut ties now before shit gets any deeper. Cause that child turned 17 years old, you gonna have an issue on your hands. And especially, you know, that mother and that child have such a close bond that it's like you went out here to do all this for your family only for them to resent you. The whole world looks at you like a hero, but they resent you. Dog. Choose one. Ain't no balance. You either gonna have a successful career, successful relationship. I'm gonna choose career. So, handle it how you handle it. Ladies, it's the same thing for you. I'm expecting for you to be as ambitious as I am. And relationships get in the way of that. Especially if you're creative. Especially if you're any good at what you're doing. You don't do 8 hours. You do 24/7. It's all you think about. And 9 times out of 10, the reason why you're good at it is because you have a unusual focus, which means the people in your field don't even focus like you focus. This motherfucker that you live with, it has no care into that trade except for the fact that you're in it. They not gonna give a fuck about it like that. So I'm keeping it real with you. Play how you want to play, and you give examples you want to give examples. When you peel that shit back, there is no great person that's great in a field that has a great home life. It's impossible. In order to be great, you have to put everything into it. That little happy birthday, that little graduation, that little bullshit stepping in and out, that's not what that is. So, you know what I'm saying? That's what that is. So, I appreciate it. Good question. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to have to keep it real with you every time. But if you want to get your question answered, go to the Patreon and just send me a message on there, and we'll go from there. I appreciate the love. I'll see you in a minute.